Monkey D. Dragon is the leader of the Revolutionary Army and one of the most influential people in the One Piece world. Although Dragon has yet to play a major role in any arc in the story, fans already know that his importance to the overarching plot of One Piece is paramount. Oda has been saving Dragon for the final saga, and much about him, from his past all the way to his goals in life, are going to be illustrated in this particular saga. Of course, one of the major things that fans have been wondering about when it comes to Dragon is his incredible power. He is known to be the world's worst criminal, however. When it comes to power, fans do not know much about what he is capable of. Yet, if one observes carefully, it is almost a given the Dragon is actually a devil fruit user, and that he possesses the power of the wind fruit. Is Dragon a devil fruit user? Dragon being a devil fruit user has not been actually confirmed in One Piece just yet. However, fans do not need proper confirmation from the author in order to assume this. When looking at Dragon and all that he has done in One Piece so far, it is clear that this character possesses a devil fruit power. Fans know Haki to be an incredible power in One Piece, however, the things that Dragon has done cannot be pulled off by using just Haki. As such, the only explanation is that Dragon is a devil fruit user. Yet, fans can go even further and say that Dragon actually possesses the wind fruit. When looking at Dragon's very first appearance in One Piece, fans know that he made sure to leave a mark in the Low Town arc recently, in Egghead Island. It was pretty clear to the fans that Dragon intended to go to Low Town in an attempt to watch over his son. When he got there, Luffy was about to be executed, and this is exactly where Dragon struck. From the sky, a lightning bolt saved Luffy's life, and it almost felt like divine intervention. However, it was simply Dragon utilizing his devil fruit powers. Then, Nami pointed out that a storm was headed towards Low Town, and that this storm was coming out of absolutely nowhere. This storm was brought about by none other than Dragon himself, and he even utilized a named attack back then. Dragon used the power of Wind Blast, which suggests that he has the power to manipulate wind somehow. In fact, the winds that he manipulated were so strong that they allowed the Straw Hat Pirates a chance to escape. Dragon even blew the wind in their direction to help them escape from Smoker's grasp, and this was certainly a big hint from Oda as to whether Dragon has a devil fruit or not. However, this certainly was not the only hint that fans got pertaining to Dragon's devil fruit. When Oda was exploring the ASL flashback, he showcased Dragon saving Sabo from imminent death after he was struck by a celestial dragon. It was Dragon who rescued him, and, later that night, he brought him to his ship, Wind Grandma. When Dragon landed on the ship, a misty aftereffect could be seen surrounding his body, which would suggest that Dragon was using some unique power to traverse the skies. Dragon was certainly flying at this point, and that is likely how he picked up Sabo from the middle of the ocean as well. This is yet another huge indication of the fact that Dragon has a devil fruit related to wind. Furthermore, when looking at Dragon's very own ship, once again, the term wind comes into focus. Oda is once again hinting at the fact that Dragon has wind-related powers, and fans have actually already seen them on a few occasions. However, the biggest hint of all was provided to the fans in the Kuma flashback, when Kuma met Dragon after leaving the Revolutionary Army once again. At this point, Kuma was looking for a cure for Bonnie, and Dragon suggested going to Vegapunk. Kuma told him that if he manages to cure Bonnie, he would like to return to the Revolutionary Army and fight by Dragon's side. In return, Dragon told him to go where the winds of fate take him. Once again, focus was thrown on wind, and this all but confirmed that Dragon's powers have something to do with them. Dragon's wind fruit power. It is quite clear for the fans to see the Dragon has wind-related powers in One Piece, and, as such, the name of his devil fruit is most certainly going to be in the wind fruit. While the name of this devil fruit is easy to guess, it is the type of this fruit that is going to be difficult for fans to predict. This devil fruit can technically fall in both Paramecia and Logia class. A Paramecia-type wind fruit would allow the user to manipulate the winds in their surroundings and create storms, among other things. However, a Logia fruit would allow the user to become the wind itself, as well as manipulate winds in their surroundings. Clearly, Oda can take this whichever way he wants. However, given that winds are a force of nature, this devil fruit is likely going to fall in the Logia class. Looking at the vast majority of the Logia devil fruits that fans have seen over the years, they almost always are a force of nature or an element. Wind certainly qualifies for it, which would make this the likelier class for Dragon's devil fruit. How strong is Monkey D. Dragon? As far as Dragon's strength goes, he is likely going to be one of the strongest characters in One Piece, and in the same league as the 4 Emperors of the Sea. For one, Dragon is the son of Garp, and given the strength of Garp and the potential that Luffy carries, it is quite easy to see the Dragon might just be as strong as the Yonko at this point in the story. His revolutionary army is strong enough to dismantle the world government, which is yet another indication of his incredible strength. If Dragon does possess the Wind Logia Devil Fruit, then it automatically makes him one of the strongest people in the world, and if he has awakened this fruit, then he might become even more dangerous. Furthermore, Dragon is most certainly going to be a user of all 3 Haki types, and have access to advanced Conqueror's Haki as well. All these powers would make him one of the strongest in the entire world, the likes of which cannot be fought by many. Thankfully, fans will not have to wait long to see Dragon in action in One Piece, and this is down to the fact that he's going to be incredibly active in the final saga of the story, which is currently being focused on. And in other news, One Piece, Oda reveals how the Sapphire Scale disease was created. To conclude the year 2023, One Piece fans were treated to an incredible chapter, and that is One Piece Chapter 1103, and it is safe to say that this was one of the most incredible additions to the story in the Egghead Island arc. As expected, the story returned to Egghead, and fans got a proper look at the events of the Egghead War, which is currently ongoing. This war has been nothing short of incredible so far, and One Piece Chapter 1103 tied it very well to the Kuma flashback, where many mysteries, such as the Sapphire Scale disease, were discussed heavily by Oda. This disease has been a key part of Kuma and his family, and has affected the likes of Bonnie tremendously for the vast majority of her life. Now, finally, Oda revealed the truth behind the Sapphire Scale disease and its creation. What is the Sapphire Scale disease? Simply put, the Sapphire Scale disease was first observed in Ginny during the Kuma flashback. Ginny was kidnapped by one of the celestial dragons and forcibly made to wed one of them. She spent quite a long time in Mary Ajoy, and during this time, Ginny ended up getting pregnant as well. This child, which Ginny was forced to bear, was none other than Bonnie. Of course, fans only found out about this when Ginny was discarded from Mary Ajoy. It appears that at some point, after she was forcibly married to one of the celestial dragons, Ginny was discarded due to an illness that she suddenly manifested. This illness was none other than the Sapphire Scale disease. The Sapphire Scale manifested itself as blue gemstones all over her body. When Ginny was discarded, she used her last breath to get to the Sorbet Kingdom once again, and she also called Kuma and the Revolutionary Army and gave them her final words. Ginny crossed the ocean and finally managed to reach the Sorbet Kingdom, where she delivered Bonnie safely, and when that happened, she ended up dying. At the same time, it was also revealed that the Sapphire Scale disease is quite deadly, as it can take the life of those who manifest it. The Sapphire Scale disease spreads tremendously fast under sun or moonlight. In fact, any form of natural light leads to it spreading tremendously fast. Once the disease spreads enough, the person inflicted with it ends up dying. Furthermore, even if the user avoids all forms of natural light completely, this disease takes their life anyway. However, in this case, the spread of the disease is slowed down tremendously, and they are given years instead of a few days to live, which is somewhat of a better deal. In the case of Bonnie, Kuma managed to contain the spread of the disease greatly, and that is why she had up to 10 years to live in total. The cases of the Sapphire Scale. So far, there have been only a handful of cases of the Sapphire Scale disease seen in the One Piece world. This is one of the biggest reasons why this disease is hardly recognizable to any doctor. One doctor who successfully diagnosed this disease for what it truly was suggested that it is a disease that existed long ago in the past. It is some form of ancient disease which isn't seen in the current times. At the same time, he was knowledgeable enough to know that this disease ends up taking the life of the user, which is why Kuma ended up risking his life in order to secure a cure for Bonnie. In One Piece Chapter 1103, it was clarified that there have been previous experiments that have fallen to the sapphire scale disease as well. This sapphire scale is a result of failed experimentation. Ginny ended up becoming a guinea pig and, in her case, the experimentation failed once again, which is why she manifested the sapphire scale as well. However, in her case, the sapphire scale was so strong that it also passed on to her child. Ginny herself succumbed to natural light as she sacrificed her life in order to save her daughter. However, in the case of Bonnie, Kuma did incredibly well to contain the spread of the disease. He barricaded her inside the church in the southern half of the Sorbet Kingdom, and there, Bonnie was provided with everything that she would ever need. Kuma went from place to place in order to secure a cure and, thankfully, in the end, it was Vegapunk who did a stem cell transplant and saved Bonnie's life. How the sapphire scale disease was created. Finally, in One Piece Chapter 1103, the source of the sapphire scale disease was revealed. As was hinted at previously, the sapphire scale disease was created by none other than Saturn. Fans know that Saturn is a scientist himself, and he has been conducting experiments for ages now in the One Piece world. This essentially means that Ginny was experimented upon by Saturn. While it isn't exactly known if Ginny was married to Saturn or if she was married to some other celestial dragon, what we do know is that at some point, Saturn put her in his grasp and then did numerous experiments on her. It isn't exactly known what Saturn was looking for. However, what fans do know is that his experimentation failed. Saturn also mentioned that there were others before Ginny whom he experimented upon, and just like them, she too ended up succumbing to this sapphire scale illness. In Ginny's case, the illness was extra strong, which is why Bonnie succumbed to this disease as well. This all but confirms the idea that Saturn, as the Ushioni, has the power to cause diseases. Now, whether this ability is tied to his scientific knowledge, or if it comes from his devil fruit remains to be seen. Hopefully, fans will find out the answer to that soon enough as One Piece progresses in the Egghead Island arc. This also calls into question the Amber Lee disease. This is yet another disease that was life-threatening in the One Piece world and came out of nowhere. Once again, like the sapphire scale, the amber lead disease was also based on a stone. Given that Saturn has all but confirmed that he was behind the sapphire scale, this also solidifies the idea that Amber Lee disease came from the Five Elders as well. Hopefully, fans will find out more about that as One Piece progresses. Given that each member of the Five Elders is named after a planet, and all the planets have their respective gemstones, it is possible that every single one of them has, to an extent, the power to create some disease. Alternatively, it is possible that the Amber Lee disease too was caused by Saturn, but Oda will need to elaborate upon that in order to confirm or deny the claim. That's a wrap for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing videos very soon.